Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm going to tell you everything without telling you names, places, but you're going to know everything. You just need to stay focused and to understand between the lines, because so many things I will not be able to mention or to talk about. Two things. The first thing, you might know about it already, which is the aspect of collateral. You know what collateral is. Of course, in many Hollywood films, you hear when they say, oh, there's a collateral damage. When they, when the superhero or when something like kind of makes a disaster and so many civilians are lost. So they say collateral damage, but this is not collateral damage. They don't really care about civilians to call them collateral. The idea of collateral comes from history when two kingdoms wanted to maintain peace between them. So this prince was supposed to live with that king, and that prince should live with this king. So every one of them know that his son is living with the other kingdom, so they should not have wars between them, because that son or that prince is actually held hostage. This is the idea of collateral. So if you attack that kingdom and this collateral is goes, then there's collateral damage. But it's painful to have collateral damage, not people that they don't care about. So this is the first thing, the idea of collateral. And of course, today, when you know that if you have leverage or you have a story like what the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia tried to do with Jeff Bezos, with his ex-wife, when he hacked into his WhatsApp and tried to blackmail him with certain things. And then, of course, this is not the idea of collateral that can make people comply. Having an affair, sleeping with another woman, cheating on his wife, this is not the level of collateral or the level of leverage that you can have on someone in our days in order to keep them in line. There are two things. First of all, like, you need to reward them, the carrot and the stick. And on the other hand, you need to be sure that if they go out of line, it will be the end of their career. It will be the end of everything for them. So when you see so many politicians are so much in line with one agenda, you ask yourself, why? It doesn't make sense. Why are they so in line? Why are they so compliant? You know that there is collateral, that they have a leverage on this person. And it's not that he cheated on his wife. It's not that he has an affair with another woman. It is something much worse, something that cannot come to the surface, should not come to the surface. The public should not know about, because it goes beyond every imagination that the normal citizen or the normal person can even imagine. So, when we speak about collateral, in many cults, in many today, that in order not to go out of line, you need to bring something, a secret, something from your history, a picture that when you are compromised. And this thing, when you give it to your friend, to your partner, and he or she gives you also something in exchange, so you both would not talk about each other. You would not expose each other, because you both have leverage on each other. This is the idea of collateral in cults and in unsafe environments. Of course, many people are willing to sell everything and to give everything for some money and villas and cars and for a specific lifestyle. Yeah, people would want to give their holy. They would sell their soul to the devil, in other words, in order to get some privileges, some financial privileges. So they would not give a little bit of collateral, and they know that it's just in the drawer. They will not expose them, because they know that there'll be a domino effect and others will be exposed. So they prefer to keep it in the drawer and hidden. But if you go out of line, then there will be exposure. So everyone stays in line. Yeah, they will be living on a high level of financial wealth and a lifestyle, etc., but they are compromised, because they know they have something that they don't want the others to know about. Now, here's the thing. How much can you share from your childhood? How many embarrassing moments you have in order to share? But if you want to get to key positions, then this is a collateral from another level. You need to be now. You will understand what I'm talking about. Now, here's the second thing that is important after we know what collateral is. The scapegoat. A scapegoat, you know what it is. There's 20 people who committed a crime, but if they hold one person accountable for everything, they all get away with it. This goat that they sacrifice is their escape. That's why they call it the scapegoat. So all they need is to find one scapegoat. And this one scapegoat is not supposed to be... now, when you hear in the news, this person is evil, this person did this and that, this person did this and that, and can it be that only one person that did all of that? Is it one person that did all of that? Seriously? Or he's just the scapegoat? And you know what? And this scapegoat can be very, he might be kind of archaic, a little bit intellectual, have some scientific background, a mathematician or whatever, but not very intelligent. He would be easily seduced by a monster behind the scenes, and this monster would give him privileges in order to be the puppet of a very complex operation. And when this operation is exposed, let's sacrifice this one scapegoat and make him all evil. While the complexity in the background of that monster, people will not talk about. And that's it. Story's over. Now everyone is talking about that one scapegoat with his... was she 17 or 18 from his point of view? 16, 17, 16, 17, 17 and a half, 17 and 9 months, 18 and 2 months. There is no, in this context, there is not more than that. When you talk about something else, there's a whole different context, but not in the surroundings of the scapegoat. I'm not trying to protect anyone here. I'm just trying to think loud and to provoke some thought. Not supporting, not against, not pro. I don't know the specific case, but I can connect dots and see some patterns. So it might be somebody who's not very intelligent. Not very intelligent, but he has some kind of big ego, or he wants to be famous, or he wants to be acknowledged. So you tell him, hey, what if I give you 100,000 euros or 1,000,000 euros and you open this institute and you educate people with your emotional intelligence and with your psychological background and your knowledge, and the person has no idea about psychology and he's blocked emotionally and has serious problems, but his ego is being now nurtured. And to make parties and invite people, and on the way you can just collect some information about this and collect some information about that, and we have this information for our intelligent purposes and for some collateral. Of course, they would not tell him that it's for collateral purposes. He might even not know even the whole intention, the whole intentions of the monster. He thinks from his point of view, we talked in the past on this channel about plausible deniability. From his point of view, he thinks that he's making a party or he's inviting just people and he's an important person and he's on the same level of world leaders and he thinks he's living in a whole different reality. He doesn't know that he's participating unconsciously in a very sophisticated scheme. But when some of the scheme or this scheme is exposed, that unconscious person is the scapegoat. I find it genius. I found this genius because on one hand, you set a whole play, theater play, From the point of view of the scapegoat, he sees it fully legit. He doesn't see anything wrong with it. Sometimes he make a mistake between 17 years old, 17 and 9 months, or like 18 years old, or like you put some pictures and he might a little bit get confused or afraid of some things. But the whole infrastructure and what they built in the background, it is way more complicated, and it involves way more intelligent entities and factors. This is my opinion on this subject. I hope I could inspire. Thank you everyone for staying with me. I'm Shredy Jabarin. Ciao.